but I want to bring it home. I want to show that HATTERENE did this. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Pokemon Showdown live here on the channel. Today, we're actually doing something different. Playing Pokemon. No, but we're actually bringing a Trick Room team. I'm not the best at Trick Room, so why not try to get a little bit better at it? This is another team by my man, OP Jealous, and the link to his channel is going to be down below, so you guys can go check him out. We've got a few Trick Room setters. We've got Life Orb, Magic Guard, HATTERENE with Trick Room, Dazzling Gleam, Psychic, and Shadow Ball. We have the Mental Herb Bronzong, pretty bulky on both sides with Stealth Rock, Trick Room, Steel Beam, and Psychic. I do like having Steel Beam and Psychic there just as the dual stab. I was debating changing it for Explosion, but I also do like the rocks as well. We have Choice Specs Vikavolt with pretty standard coverage here, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Bug Buzz, and Energy Ball. We have, I really like this Mew a lot actually, Trick Room Mew with Self-Destruct, Normal Gem Boosted Self-Destruct, Spikes, and Flare Blitz. Banded Crawdaunt with Aqua Jet, Crab Hammer, Knockoff, and Close Combat. And then Leftovers Cofagrigus with Trick Room, Nasty Plot, Shadow Ball, and Memento. If you guys are excited, feel free to show some love on that like button down below. Let me know what you guys want to see next in the tier. If you guys just like the showcases that have been going on, let me know that as well. If you're new, feel free to subscribe, and we'll be right back as soon as I find a battle. All right, so my opponent has Sylveon, Dugtrio, Heliolisk, the Togekiss, Corviknight, and Dragapult. So I really do like Trick Room in this. I do like leading Bronzong in case he does decide to lead with something like the Dugtrio. Leads off with the Dragapult here. I'm pretty bulky. I'm just going to go for the Trick Room as he goes for the substitute there. We do see it sub leftovers. And I'll just toss off a Psychic to break the sub as he goes for the Thunder Wave. That boosts me in Trick Room, so I'm really curious as to what you wanted to do there. I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks on the Corviknight incoming. Unfortunately, I'm going to get fully paralyzed, but I am still going to go for these rocks. It's going to be a nice chip for this. It's going to break any potential sashes on things like Dugtrio. Does good damage to Togekiss as well. And here is the Heliolisk. So, Heliolisk coming out. I'm just going to go for a Psychic for damages. He just goes back on to Corviknight. So, I don't... Ooh. Okay. So, I do get fully paralyzed. I'm just going to go for the Trick Room here as the Defog comes off. I'm going to want to keep that up, and I'm just going to go for my Stealth Rocks here. There's the Iron Head. My opponent can certainly go for a Defog. I'm going to go out into Vikavolt here. And I do think he would want to go into Dugtrio or some kind of middle ground, so I'm just going to go for a Specs Energy Ball here. Sylveon comes out. We do see that it is leftovers. It could be some sort of like Mystical Fire set as well. I'm going to go back out in my Bronzong here on the Wish. And just get some rocks up. We're going to keep forcing in that Corviknight as he does go for the Mystical Fire. Not doing too much. I do like the idea of just going for Steel Beam here. And the Corviknight coming in. Oh, I should have set up my Trick Room there. But it's okay. I'm going to go for Trick Room here in case he does choose to opt to defog the rocks over that. Goes for the Iron Head to knock me out. That's fine. What this allows me to do is to get in my Mew. I am going to go for a Trick Room of my own, and then I'm going to Flare Blitz this thing for some big boy damage. Nobody ever has any idea what Mew wants to do, so actually goes down to the Sylveon. This Flare Blitz is going to come off. Does about 64%. Wish, Mystical Fire, blankety blank. So he does have Protect, so I want to be careful about that when I go for my Explosion. And I'll just go for Spikes here. And I'll just go for another layer. Goes for the Hyper Voice, that's fine. We'll get 2 layers up. Still do want to be able to pressure that Corviknight. I'll go for a Trick Room. Another Hyper Voice comes off. That's going to be doing some big boy damage. He knows he can take one, so I will just go for the Self-Destruct. He's actually faster than me in Trick Room. That's unfortunate. I did not recognize that beforehand. That's my own fault here. However, I do have a Crawdaunt here. I do have a Banded Crawdaunt. Got in a Banded Crawdaunt. Let's start trying to do some damage with the Crab Hammer. All right, cool. 1 down. 1 down, 5 to go. We got 2 layers of spikes up. We've got Banded Adaptability Crawdaunt. I'm going to go for a Crab Hammer here. Oh, that's just missing out on the KO as my opponent is able to get the defog off. And what I actually want to do here is I actually want to go on to my Crofagrigus. I want to keep Crawdont as healthy as possible. We'll get the leftovers recovery, which will bring us back up to full, and hopefully we can get a Trick Room off on probably the Dragapult. In a perfect world, mind you, we're able to do that. It was sub leftovers Dragapult, so I can't see us dying in one hit. Crofagrigus is pretty bulky. Crofagrigus is pretty bulky. There's the substitute. We'll go for the Trick Room here. I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball to break the sub. Now, my opponent could do... My opponent goes to the Thunder Wave here. So now what my opponent could do is go out into the Heliolisk. And with that being the case, I think what I'm going to do is go hard out into my Hatterene. Because there's the Heliolisk. Perfect. And what I would like to do is actually just toss off a Life Orb Psychic. We are going to get the crit. We are going to be able to knock out the Heliolisk, which is good. We do have one turn left of Trick Room here. If the Dugtrio is Focus Sash, it might go for Sucker Punch first. Here's the Corviknight. Okay, so Corviknight does come out. I actually want to keep this thing alive. No, I still have Crofagrigus as a setter. I'm going to go out into Crofagrigus here. There's the Iron Head coming off. That's fine. Because as soon as Trick Room goes away, I'm going to attempt to go for a Trick Room here. I want to keep that up as much as possible. And my opponent does go for the Roost, so that is going to increase their longevity ever so slightly. But we are going to be able to go for... I'm going to go for Nasty Plot here. As my opponent actually goes down to the Togekiss, we are able to get the Nasty Plot off. This is going to be some big boy damage. This is a quiet Crofagrigus at +2. Not Life Orb, but it's still going to hurt. Still going to hurt. We do. That is a clean 2-hit KO. My opponent is able to go for the Air Slash. And what I want to do here, as we do have 2 turns left, is get fully paralyzed. That is exactly what I want to have happen. That is precisely what I want to have happen. I'll go for another Shadow Ball here. We'll knock out the Togekiss. We do get a little bit of leftovers recovery. I think my opponent has to prioritize attacking me. Here. I'm going to go for the Trick Room. Oh, there's the Hex. So Thunder Wave into Hex. Okay. Okay, I can see that. Substitute, Thunder Wave, Hex, blank. So I'm going to go out to my Hatterene here. Now I'm going to click Trick Room. It goes down to Corviknight. Okay, that's fine by me. I want to say Shadow Ball is going to be my best hit here, especially with that special defense drop right there. Booyah. There's the Iron Head coming off. After this special defense drop, we should be able to knock it out with Shadow Ball. Oh, so close, so close, so close. My opponent's going to be able to go for the Iron Head here. That's fine. Because Crawdon gets to come in a few times, and I'm going to click Knockoff. I don't want Dragapult to come in. Dugtrio comes in. I'm going to go for the knockoff here. There's the Sucker Punch. Are you Focus Sash? You are Focus Sash. Okay, that's fine. I'll go on. Oh, I'm trapped. No. There's the reversal. I was trapped. Okay. Oh, I think I lost this one. I'll go for the Bug Buzz. The reversal comes off. That's fine. If my opponent goes... So I'm going to lock myself into Bug Buzz because if my opponent goes for a sub, we're going to be able to bypass that. X is still going to hurt. Oh, and he disables me. No. No. I have to struggle. Rip. Rip. Oh, that's going to be game. That is going to be game there. Oh, man. GG. GG. Okay, so I really like that matchup. I think we played pretty well. I think we just... I don't know where we could have brought that one back. Let me know in the comment section down below. I just think my opponent, I think I just got kind of outplayed a little bit. So I'm going to go on ahead and queue up for a second match, and we will be right back. All right, my opponent's got some serious webs with Bisharp, with some major web abusers. Bisharp, Shandy, Toxtricity, and the Excadrill. So what I would like to do first is to lead off with our Bronzong. I'm going to try to bait them into going for webs turn 1, and I can go out into my Hatterene here with a Magic Bounce. Oh, there's the infestation. Okay, so at least my opponent can't go for anything here. And what I'll do is I'll just Trick Room. In case they decide to go into something like Bisharp or Excadrill. There's the Bisharp. Now, I would like to assume that Life Orb, Dazzling Gleam does actually knock you out. And it does. Cool. So we are able to get the KO there. I would assume Excadrill wants to come out. Shuckle actually comes out. Okay, so Psychic's probably my best bet here. There's the Infestation, just doing a little bit more damage. We do get some big boy damage off. Unfortunately, my opponent is going to be able to kind of wear me down here. But the more damage I get off on this Shuckle, the better. Did you snag a crit? I don't see any leftovers on this thing, and he's going to be just a hair faster than me. So I will actually... Here's the final Gambit. It resets my... I'm going to turn off my Trick Room. Now, Chandelure can come out. Toxtricity can come out. Excadrill actually comes out. So I've got a pretty good counter to this in Cathagrigus. There's the Iron Head that comes off. Perfect. We do take that pretty well. And then what I will do is actually just go for the Trick Room here. He goes for a Swords Dance. Okay, that's cool. And now what I can do here is just Memento. Here's the Earthquake. And I have Crawdaunt here. And Crawdaunt clicks Trace Banded Crabhammer a few times now. And I still have three... normally, excuse me, Crawdaunt should be able to click Crabhammer 2 more times. 10% chance to miss, mind you. So we do knock out the Excadrill. We've got one more turn. We lose our adaptability. I forgot about that. We lose our adaptability because of the Mummy here. So we should still be able to hit pretty hard. What I actually want to do is go Vikavolt here on the last turn of Trick Room to take this. And just in case my opponent decides to try to get up webs, there's the Thunder. We take that pretty handsomely. And I'll just Volt Switch out of here. My opponent also Volt Switches. This does give me a little bit more momentum. That's a resisted hit. And Bronzong is pretty okay to sit in front of Toxtricity and just click Trick Room here. My opponent goes for the Substitute there. So, interesting play. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock. I don't know what they want to do. They are an Overdrive set. And there's the Throat Spray. So, I'm going to go for a Psychic to hopefully break the sub here, as my opponent could certainly attack. There it is. And... ooh, unfortunately, I'm going to be in a lack of Trick Room position. I'll just go for another Psychic here to knock it out. I do have one more turn of Trick Room. So we're going to be able to get some good damage off in either the Chandelure or the Galvantula. This Galvantula does come out. And I'll go for the Psychic against this thing. He does go for the Bug Buzz to knock me out. However, I do believe that Banded Aqua Jet should be able to pick up the finishing move here. I'm confident enough in that I'm going to click GG. Because if Banded Adaptability Crawdaunt does not knock out Chandelure from 76%, I'm doing something wrong. There we go. Boom. All right, that is going to be that game. Let's go on ahead and pause it and find another one, and we'll be right back. All right, so my opponent has Dragapult, Copperajah, Golisopod, Dracozolt, Ditto, and Mandibuzz. So I love spikes and I love rocks for being able to deal with the opposing Golisopod. I'm going to lead off with Bronzong here because it does give me rocks and Trick Room. My opponent does make a pretty solid play by leading off Dragapult. I should be able to take one move, so I will go for the Trick Room here. And the good news is if my Ditto ever copies any of my own Pokemon, assuming it is Choice Scarf Ditto, if they do copy any of my own Pokemon while on Trick Room, because they're Scarfed, I'll still be faster than them. So it does also prevent that type of sweeping as well. There's a Shadow Ball that comes off. That is some huge damage. Huge damage. I'll go for Stealth Rocks here because Bronzong really lived its purpose here. Do I want Stealth Rocks or do I want damage on this thing? I'm going to go damage on this thing. He actually goes Mana Buzz. So that was a pretty solid play by my opponent here. I'll just go for Stealth Rocks. They can go for a knockoff, go for something. There's the foul play that takes me out. And I don't see, unless that is a Volt Absorb Dracozolt, which it definitely could be. I'm going to click Volt Switch now. I'm actually going to click Thunderbolt because I do have the Caphagrius to be able to handle the Dracozolt in the back. I don't think it would be Volt Absorb. All right, perfect. So we do get some big boy damage off. They do go for the Defog to remove the rocks, which is fine. I still have spikes on my Mew. I'll just go for another Thunderbolt here as they go out into the Dragapult. We're doing some pretty decent damage to that thing. Now I need to figure out what is my weakest link here. I want to say it's Crawdaunt. Shadow Ball comes off. We're able to take that pretty nicely. I want to assume your choice locked into something. I'm going to go for knockoff here for a little bit of damage as the Golisopod comes out. Banded knockoff. We're taking off your choice band and we're kicking you out with emergency exit. So if I get a spike up with Mew, that's going to be looking pretty nice for Golisopod. My opponent goes out to the Dragapult here. Probably going to go for not a ghost type move, I would have to assume. There's a Thunderbolt. We take that pretty well. And what I can do here is just click Trick Room. Like I said, I'd expect my opponent to be some form of choice with this Dragapult. With this, I would expect Specs damage. Or my opponent's been playing me the entire time and they go for a Shadow Ball here and just absolutely roll me. But I think we're in a pretty good position here. Once we get this Trick Room off, Golisopod can definitely come out. But we should be... Actually, Dracozolt comes out here. So we do get a Trick Room up. I am just going to go for... What do I go for here? That's an interesting question. So, get Dragon move. It does get electric moves. I'm just going to go for damage. I'm going to go for damage. Bulbeak comes off. Bulbeak misses. That is the unfortunate part of Hustle. I'll go for another Shadow Ball here. My opponent's Mandibuzz is pretty weak, actually, so... We're going to be able to do some work to that. Copperaja comes out. Copperaja is a pretty heavy hitter here. And I'm just going to go for... I'm going to go for another Shadow Ball. I hope we don't die to this thing in one hit. Goes for Stealth Rocks. Okay, that's fine. I'll go for one more Shadow Ball here. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to click Nasty Plot. Because I want to make sure I'm in a better position. I don't want to kill this thing on the last turn of Trick Room and then Dragapult comes in. So I'm in a Nasty Plot here. I assume my opponent wants to sack this, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Here's the Heavy Slam. So he no longer has the Heavy Metal to double the weight, which would lead me to believe that we can take the next one. Oh, we cannot take the next one. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Mew should be able to take the next one. You should definitely be able to take the next one. I will just go for a spike here. I'm going to go for a spike to make sure Golisopod can't come in. And to knock this thing out, I'll just go for the Flare Blitz. We'll have a little bit of recoil here. We do get the Mummy, unfortunately. That's crazy that even after we got rid of Heavy Metal, it was still doing that much damage. That's wild. Copperaja is so thick. Copperaja is so thick. I might just need to... I was running a Sheer Force Copperaja in VGC in like my own testing behind the scenes. I may need to just move that to Heavy Metal. My God. The Dragapult can definitely come out here. And if it has U-turn, can just click it. It certainly can go for that. We still have one more Trick Room setter. And the field is almost set. There's the spike for Golisopod. Booyah. Okay, that's what I was most curious about. I was super curious about that. Ditto comes out. So Ditto can copy me pretty well here. Go for the Flare Blitz. It can go for the Self-Destruct. I'm going to go for the Trick Room. Flare Blitz comes off. Okay. So it's Choice Scarfed into... I'm going to go on to Hatterene. I'm going to go on to Hatterene and I'm going to click Trick Room. Because it's locked into Flare Blitz here. I'm going to hope I live a Flare Blitz. I'm going to hope that I live a Flare Blitz. And I'm going to try to click Trick Room here. Because then that does give me a little bit of a fighting chance there. We'll be able to take out 3 of my opponent's Pokemon. Oh, yes. And I think Hatterene's going to bring it home for us. I think Hatterene brings it home for us. I'm going to go for the Life Orb Shadow Ball against this thing. It's going to knock out the Ditto. Perfect. Perfect. Got 3 more Life Orb hits, 3 more turns of Trick Room, 3 more Pokemon. Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. That is what I needed there. Dracozolt comes out. Perfect. I'm going to click Dazzling Gleam here. There we go. Looking good. We're looking good. If Hatterene brings it home, we're going to end it off here. If we can finish this off with a Trick Room Hatterene sweep, we are going to end it off here. But I want to bring it home. I want to show that Hatterene did this. Come on. Come on. Your choice lock. You don't have priority on your Dragapult. You wouldn't lock yourself into, like, Sucker Punch or something. Here comes Mandibuzz. Dazzling Gleam here. Boom. Boom. We got 1 hit left. We got 1 turn of Trick Room left. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home. Dazzling Gleam, booyah. Finishing off with a Hatterene sweep right there under Trick Room. And we are going to be wrapping up this Showdown Live right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have, be sure to show some love on that like button down below. If you guys are new, feel free to subscribe for some more Sword and Shield content as well. Let me know if there's any other Pokemon you guys want to see that's around here. I'm just kind of pulling teams offline where I can find them that friends make, post on forums, things like that. So let me know what you guys want to see. All that being said, I'm going to remind you to be great and do great. And I'll see you on the next video. Later.